Let us learn the poem Animals, written by Walt Whitman. Poem Animals, Walt Whitman, page number 83. It's a poem taken from Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. It's a poem taken from the collection of Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. Animals belongs to his Song of Myself. It appeared in Whitman's major poetry collection, Leaves of Grass. In 1885, Mary Oakes Davis, a widow of a sea captain, moved in with Whitman to serve as his housekeeper in exchange for free rent. She brought several animals with her. After that, he wrote this poem, Animals, and he included it in his collection of poems, Song of Myself. So, Animals belongs to Whitman's Song of Myself. It appeared in Whitman's major poetry collection, Leaves of Grass. In 1885, a widow of a sea captain moved with Whitman to serve as his housekeeper. She brought some animals with her. After learning and after watching and after collecting many ideas from those animals, he wrote the poem Animals. And after that, he included this poem in his collection of poems. So, we will learn this poem in such a way that we can understand something. In the introduction, the poet tells us that he feels more at home with animals than humans when he finds complicated and false. The poet tells us that he feels more at home with the animals. The poet shows the love for animals and their nature. According to the poet, animals are superior to humans, not superior as intelligence, but as their nature. When we compare the intelligence of animals and man is superior. That is another thing. But by nature, the poet says that the animals are superior than humans. So let us learn the poem. I think I could turn and live with animals. I think I could turn and live with animals. I want to live with animals. The poet wants to transform into an animal and wants to be a part of their pack, wants to live with them. So they are so placid and self-contained. Why the poet likes to live with them? Because the animals are placid. Placid means gentle, and self-contained. Self-contained means having all that is needed. I stand and look at them long and long. So I stand and look at them for a long time because I want to learn from them. I want to learn them and I want to learn from them. So I wish that I want to transform into an animal and wants to live with them and want to be a part of their group. So I stand and look at them long and low so that I can see and learn the nature of the animals. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not sweat and whine. Sweat means sweat, and whine means complaining, cry. In Hindi we can say this is karahana. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. उसका कंडीशन को देख के वो कभी रोते नहीं हैं और कंप्लेन नहीं करते, पसीना नहीं बहाते. They do not lie awake in the dark. रात में जागते नहीं रहते. And weep for their sins. और अपने पाप के लिए वो रोते नहीं. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. अपना कर्तव्य का चर्चा करते हुए मुझे कभी परेशान नहीं करता है, मुझे बीमार नहीं बनाते, मुझे टेंशन में नहीं डालते. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. और गॉड के ऊपर उसका क्या ड्यूटी है उसको बता के मेरा दिमाग खराब नहीं करता है. Not one is dissatisfied. कोई भी जानवर डिससेटिस्फाइड नहीं होता, असंतुष्ट नहीं होता भाई, बिकॉज दे आर टोटली सेटिस्फाइड व्हाट दे हैव एंड व्हाट दे गेट. नॉट लाइक अस, बट दे आर ऑलवेज व्हाट एवर दे गेट. इफ दे आर नॉट गेटिंग एनीथिंग देन ऑल्सो दे आर सेटिस्फाइड. सो हियर सेज दैट नॉट वन इज डिससेटिस्फाइड. द पोएट हैव लर्नड ऑल दीज थिंग्स फ्रॉम द पेग. And he says that they are not dissatisfied at any point. Not one is demented with the mania of owing things. कोई भी इस बात पर पागल भी नहीं होता कि ये मेरा ही है, ये मेरा ही है. वो कभी मैनिया में नहीं आता है, मेंटल टेंशन में नहीं आता है ऑफ owing things. ये मेरा है, इट इज़ माई पोसेशन, ये सोचकर कोई उन्माद में नहीं आते. नॉट वन नील्स टू अनदर. कोई भी किसी के सामने घुटने टेकते नहीं. नॉट टू हिज काइंड दैट लिव थाउजेंड्स ऑफ ईयर्स अगो. नॉट टू हिज काइंड दैट लिव्ड थाउजेंड्स ऑफ ईयर्स. वो कई साल रहते हैं, सालों से चलते आ रहे. वो किसी के सामने घुटने टेके नज़र नहीं आते कि मुझे ये करो वो करो. नॉट वन इज रेस्पेक्टेबल और अनहैप्पी ओवर द होल अर्थ. कोई भी जानवर, नॉट वन इज रेस्पेक्टेबल. हमें पता है उसको हम कोई रेस्पेक्ट नहीं देता. इवन आफ्टर दे आर नॉट अनहैप्पी ओवर द होल अर्थ. ऐसा होते हुए भी वो कभी असंतुष्ट नहीं रहता है. उसको रेस्पेक्ट दो या नहीं दो, उसको कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है. उस बात को लेके वो कभी असंतुष्ट नहीं रहता. सो दे शो देयर रिलेशंस टू मी एंड आई एक्सेप्ट देम. वो अपना रिश्ता मुझे बता देते, व्हाट इज़ द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन अस, बट दे डोंट नो हाउ टू से दिस, बट दे शो दिस. That is called I accept them. And they bring me token of myself. वो उसी बात को मुझे बता देते. And they evince them plainly, clearly. Plainly means clearly. Here them means the relation. Evince means जताना और show करना. So I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. The evince them plainly in their position. Their relation I can understand with me. I accept that. They have no words to say this, but they show this. They can show their relation with us, whatever it may be. They are not dissatisfied. They are not unhappy. They are totally satisfied with what they have. Whether they will get respect or not, they have no problem. Even though they are satisfied. So they don't know how to show the relation and they don't know how to say the words for their relation, but they are totally happy. They know how to show the relation, so they evince. Evince means jatana, show karna them here means relation. Plainly means clearly in their possession, अपने अधिकार में रहकर, अपने पावर में रह के वो ये बात हमें दिखाते what is their relation with the humans. I wonder where they get those tokens. मुझे आश्चर्य हो रहा है उसको ये ज्ञान कहाँ से मिला कि अपना रिलेशन दूसरों को कैसे दिखाना. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? हो सकता है मेरे लापरवाही की वजह से मैं ये समझ नहीं पाए, but the things are there. They are so lovable. So the poet says this. And from the poem we can collect a number of qualities of the animals. The first one, they do not sweat and whine. वो पसीना बहाते नहीं है किसी के लिए, कंप्लेन करके रोते नहीं है. एंड द अदर पॉइंट इज दे डोंट लाई अवेक टू वीप फॉर देयर सिन. अपना सिन को बताने के लिए, समझाने के लिए वो रात को जागते नहीं रहते. नेक्स्ट, दे डोंट मेक द पॉइंट सिक रिमाइंडिंग हिम अबाउट हिज ड्यूटीज टू गॉड. वो ये बात बता के बस मुझे परेशान नहीं करता है कि बस आपके ड्यूटी क्या है गॉड के थ्रू. दिस इज द क्वालिटीज ऑफ द डॉग, particularly animals, whatever it may be. We can say that it is a God gift that they can show what they think. And by looking them, by learning them, by having a relation with them, by living with them, we can understand their feeling and we can understand their language. So the poet says that he wants to live with the animals because they are more superior than humans in their nature, not in intelligence but in nature. Simply we can say that the poet loves for animals and their nature. So Walt Whitman says that he wants to live with the animals because he loves them. He wants to learn a lot of things from them. And he says that he learned a lot of things and he recognized the quality of the animals. And so he says that they do not sweat and whine and they did not lie awake to weep for their sins, and they don't make the poet sick by saying that or by reminding about his duties to God. So these are the qualities of animals that he have learned from them. So he wants to say that he wants to live with them. So take it as an introduction and then learn the poem, learn the word meaning. Try to understand what the poet wants to say and the poet wants to do. We also have to keep a feeling of loving animals. We have to learn the nature of animals. And all these things we will get from this lesson. Okay? Read the lesson.